This week on C Plus News Time, there's nothing in the news. Nothing. Usually there's even a smidgen of TV news or some movie teaser. It was the week of Memorial Day, so that had to contribute to the drought. I can do this. What can an episode of News Time be about? Netflix? No, we did that last week. Q1 ratings for? No, we did that last month. Ooh, there's a Bad Mom spinoff coming in. Shoot, we did that last year. James Corden was chosen as a Late Late Show host, and that was the first episode of this crab fest. Can you believe that was 3 years ago? Look at young Chad. So naive. So dumb. What a dumb dummy. Hey, younger, uglier version of myself just gave me an idea. Let's start over. This week on C Plus News Time, duds and surprises of network television. Just like episodes of this junk fire, network television shows can fall super flat. Watch as I take a deep dive into what shows can stay afloat in the sea of entertainment and how they succeed. Also, how some shows fail. Would you look at that? We did it!
It's C Plus News Time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Am I a man or am I a Muppet? Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news that you didn't know about for the week of May 29th, 2017. First up, next, and finally, ever since the start of TV streaming online, both broadcast and cable have had their troubles. Younger viewers are flocking to Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. Young adults and mid-adults are opting for a mix of streaming services and online by-the-month TV services. And old people are confused about all the colors and gays on TV. It's simple math. But broadcast is hurting the most. The numbers that they once got in the 20th century with audiences in the 30 to 60 million count range are long gone to a point where not even sporting events or award shows can score great numbers. So, for now, networks have to aim to lose less viewers. If a new show doesn't perform well or if there's a substantial drop-off in viewers for a current fave week after week, you best believe they'll take a good, hard look at said shows. But avenues like Hulu and CBS All Access are being counted right now. Just like how the NPD is now adding digital sales of video games in with physical numbers, so too are online streaming options. So are same-day plus 3-day DVR viewings. It's wonderful for your favorite shows, but weird if you're one of those people who doesn't like to be spied on. Okay. Remember in April when I did that story on Q1 ratings for late night shows? And pretty much every other week when I talk about ratings, well, some shows performed good enough to continue moving forward. Others didn't. Even still, John Coblin writes for the New York Times about how the gap between hits and flops is only getting narrower. How can this be possible? There are an untold amount of shows canceled each year. But, as I've been harping on for the past year, there were, according to FX head John Landgraf, 454 new TV shows this past television season, a number that grew from last year's 420, a point at which Landgraf had previously said the so-called bubble would burst. What Coblin is suggesting in his piece is this television season didn't have as many bad shows compared to this TV seasons past. Networks aren't jumping at the chance to cancel a show, rather they're letting series breathe and find a footing with a niche audience. Coblin gives the example of Fox canceling American Idol in 2015 for bad ratings, only to have ABC bring it back next season because those ratings aren't that bad for today's TV climate. Couple of networks' tendencies to revive already canceled shows with these 454 new shows plus seasoned vets, and you've got a bloated TV arena. With that number of shows, how can most of them still be on TV? My guess is networks only want to invest more in what they've already spent money on. If a show is performing decently, perhaps it can stay with the network family. Look at it this way. Imaginary Mary failed in two major areas. It premiered to horrible ratings, having only drawn a 1.4 rating and 5.4 million viewers after an episode of The Goldbergs on March 29th. The following week's episode fell 30% to a 0.9 rating and 3.5 million viewers. That and the show did not review well at all. I couldn't even find much to say about it either. Yikes. Compare that to NBC's The Good Place, which was successful for both critics and viewers. You know, for an NBC show. I kid, sort of. But it's a really good show. The Good Place premiered to 8 million viewers and a 2.28 in the demo, and the season finale only fell to 3.9 million and a 1.12 in the demo. And it scored well with the viewers. Not too shabby for NBC. So that show got a second season while Imaginary Mary did not. But network TV is a tricky beast that's hard to tame. The four-headed Cerberus stands on its own. No one can predict success for a show. If you would have told me that Lucifer and Lethal Weapon of all shows would become some of my favorites of last season, I would have laughed in your face and then promptly apologized for laughing in your face. I don't want to be too mean. Downward Dog, ABC's other new show, premiered a few weeks ago. It had much hype coming into the summer season with the praise from Sundance and behind-the-scenes rumblings of the show's potential success. Color me embarrassed when I watched the show and liked it a lot and wrote a glowing review of it. Apparently, embarrassed is black when it's usually red. Downward Dog's ratings were fine with a 1.1 rating in adults, 1849, and 4.7 million viewers, losing out to Imaginary Mary of all shows. But DD has the critics by its side, and it only lost a few viewers in week 2, dropping to 3.75 million, so it's kind of a summer hit so far. This past season, Fox had its own hit and Caitlin Olsen-led series The Mick. That show started with 8 million viewers and ended its season after having been picked up by 4 episodes after only airing 3 for a total of 17, and the critics found that show funny too, which is why Fox picked it up for a second season. To that end, networks are showing that dedicated watchers are important. Counting in numbers of DVR viewers or online streamers, networks are finally looking at ratings as a whole. But just because a show gets 4 million viewers a week doesn't mean it's a failure. Nowadays, it's important for fan bases to be built. Another thing is Netflix, Amazon, and Hulu don't really release view counts. They renew or cancel and move along. I can't imagine Difficult People and Red Oaks are getting high numbers, but it doesn't matter. These shows are prospering, except for Red Oaks, which will end with season 3. The numbers game is about subscribers now. Of course, Netflix is leading in that match, but I do have a theory that Netflix only counts clicks on episodes and doesn't care who watches all of what. That's why Adam Sandler is allowed to make whatever movies for them for the rest of his life. You know, no, you, not we. Keep clicking on them, watch 10 minutes and dip out. That's where the ratings come from. So stop doing that. Okay, I'll stop too. Network TV is complicated. Anyone can access the channels with a rudimentary TV tuner or cable subscription. Ratings are important to these guys, yet they can only count so much. And they can invest so much into a show until there are no returns. The sooner they cancel a show, the more money can be allocated into a new idea. Will broadcast TV be able to keep with the bastard orphans that are outperforming them? Well, time will soon tell. Hey, I did it! I made an episode in an off week. And that's all the news I have for you for this week on C Plus News Time. Why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can always head to the website cpluscomedy.com for a whole lot of stuff. And you can also follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. And head to the YouTube page, youtube.com/cpluscomedy for more great things. All right, goodbye.